Hey, this is Casey Demchek with this week's Book Marketing Copy Quick Tip video. And this week I'm going to give you kind of a non-writing tip. I want to talk about something that's kind of important. I've worked with about 200 authors over the years, and I've noticed that the more successful ones who sell a lot of books or maybe turn their books into online programs, they have a real bias towards taking action. They just keep their projects moving forward no matter what. And I've worked with other authors who have written maybe great books, but they let their project stall or they put their book on the back burner. And sometimes the reason they give me for doing that really isn't the real reason. I'll give you an example. I worked with an author a few years ago who had a real phobia of technology. He didn't like technology. He was kind of intimidated by the idea of, God, when I publish this book, I'm going to have to build a website, do a YouTube channel, do social media, and he wasn't really comfortable with that. So he decided that he could not settle on a good subtitle for his book. That was kind of his reason that he gave for putting his book on the back burner. Literally took him 2 years. He could not think of a good subtitle. But deep down inside, I don't think that was the real reason. I think it was the technology issue that stalled him and kind of made him put his book on the back burner, which was really unfortunate. So I want to talk to you today about always taking action, always moving forward. I've got my little cheat sheet over here. I want to talk to you about some of the things I've seen trip authors up and kind of make them put their projects on the back burner, or at a minimum make them kind of slow walk their projects so they take way too long to get done. One of those things is getting caught in the perfection trap. There's a lot of steps involved with writing your book, publishing your book, building your author platform, marketing your book. There's a whole bunch of steps. If you try to execute each of those steps perfectly as you go, you're going to get hung up along the way, and it's going to take you way too long to get your book out to the world. The authors I worked with who are biased towards taking action, they just keep moving forward. Even if they have to stumble through a few steps, they know that they can kind of backtrack, clean up a mess as they go, or course correct or fix things, but they always keep moving forward. So don't think you have to execute every step of the publication and marketing process perfectly before you move on to the next one. Another thing that trips up authors I've seen over the years, and I already talked about this a little bit, is a fear of technology. You think, God, I want to write this book, or I've written this book, but gosh, now I got to put up a website, I got to develop a lead magnet, build an email list, social media channels, I got to get on YouTube and do videos. That can be a little intimidating, and understandably so. But just know that in the world of book publishing, there's a lot of specialists, a lot of people who can help you build websites or help you with a YouTube channel, help you with social media. There's a lot of wonderful people. It's like a whole spider web of people that I know who can help every author with an area that is difficult for them. And a lot of these people are not very expensive. So don't let a fear of technology trip you up. If there's something you're a little intimidated by, or you just don't want to take the time to learn it, there are lots of people out there who are more than willing to help you so that you can keep your project moving forward. Again, the authors that I know that are biased towards taking action, they don't let anything like that hold them up. They'll say things to me like, yeah, I don't know anything about putting together a website or a YouTube channel, but I'll just find people who will help me do that, and I'll keep moving forward. Okay. Another thing I see trip up a lot of authors, especially authors who have written self-development books or they're writing business books, they kind of suffer from this thing called the imposter syndrome, meaning they start to doubt whether they're expert enough to be writing a book that's going to help other people. Now, I can relate to that. In 2006, I published a book called Essential Sales Writing Secrets, and I kind of went through that thing of, gee, am I really expert enough to write a book about copywriting? And I kind of ran this fear by an older consultant that I respected, and he kind of laughed at me, and he said, Casey, you don't get it. You don't write a book because you're an expert. You're an expert because you wrote a book. And I kind of knew what he meant, and I don't know if that's 100% true that you're automatically an expert if you wrote a book, but I got what he meant, and it was all I needed to hear at the time to spur me forward and get my book out there and publish it. Now, one thing that I do know I'm 100% certain about, I've learned over the years, is that to help somebody up a mountain, you only need to be a few steps ahead of them to reach back and help pull somebody along. So if you're writing a business book or a self-development book and you've got that that doubt about whether you're expert enough, just ask yourself, am I 3 feet further up the mountain than the people I'm writing for? If the answer is yes, you're more than qualified to help them out, pull them up the mountain, give them some wisdom and advice that could really help them out. Or, if you've written a novel, you just need to be a little funnier than your audience to write a book that really entertains them. So if you're just a few steps ahead of your audience, you're more than qualified to help them out. So these are some things that I've seen authors kind of snag up authors so that they end up putting their projects in the back burner. And again, I would urge you to have a bias towards taking action. Keep your project moving forward. Never let it stall. You can always get people to help you out with areas where you may not feel you're knowledgeable enough, or things you just don't want to do, like build a YouTube channel, something like that. So keep your project moving forward. Anyway, I hope this tip has been helpful for you today. No matter where you're watching this video, scroll on down, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when new videos come out each week. Then hop on over to casey-demchek.com where you can download my free ebook, 7 Must-Know Copywriting Secrets That Sell More Books. And until next week, this is Casey Demchek. Take a lot of action and make things happen.